Hello, mathematicians. Welcome to another math lesson with me, Miss Taylor. All right, well, let's see if we're ready for math. Do we have our big eraser? Yep. Do we have our fact practice packet? Got mine here. Textbook? Check. Workbook? Check. Paper or whiteboard? Got my whiteboard here. Yep. And a pencil? All right. And says you might also need your place value chart. We are going to do a little practice with our place value chart. So it would be a good idea to have that available for you. Here's mine. Okay, so let's start with our fact practice packet for today. We are on page 4. So right here, page 4. And today we are working on subtracting 9. So the other day we practiced adding 9, and Miss Taylor was a little bit slower than I have been. It took me 48 seconds. Lately I've been doing most of these in about 30 seconds, so that shows me, oh, Miss Taylor, you need to practice, which is just fine. If we do a little bit more slowly, sometimes we just realize like, hey, I just need to practice a little bit, and that's okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do our fact practice packet. And I think I'm going to time myself again and see if I can get a little faster than I did it before. So if you have someone who can help you to time you, that might help. Or you could just try to do it as quickly as you could and just really work on mastering these facts. So memorizing them and getting faster and faster. Okay, I'm going to scoot this out of the way for a sec and I'll show you what it is. But ready? And and I'm trying to beat this time, even though today I'm subtracting and before I was adding. And usually subtracting is a little bit harder for me, but when I look at subtracting 9, what I'm thinking about is actually adding. If I see 10 minus 9, I'm thinking, oh, I know 9 plus 1 gets me up to my whole number. So that is just a strategy that I use. And I know 9 plus 1 gets me up to 10. And then that I have, I know 9 plus 1. And then I have 2 left. So this would be 12. So that's kind of my, that's not right, Miss Taylor. 9 plus 1 gets me up to 10, and then 3 more, right? So that would be 1 plus 3 would be 4. So kind of thinking about if here's one of my parts and this is the whole number, how many more do I need to get up here? So 9 plus what will get me up to 17? Well, I have 9 plus 1 and then plus 7. So that would be 8. Okay. So let's see how Miss Taylor does, and let's see how you do. Maybe you can beat me. I know some of you probably beat my time last time, so send me a little message and say, oh, Miss Taylor, I beat you. Okay. So, ready? Okay, so I did better than before. So here, 38 seconds, and put my time up here. That was better. I think the last time my mind wasn't really warmed up yet with my math facts. So another thing I noticed, and maybe some of you were also thinking this, as I was going along, I was thinking, oh, I can really just look at the number in the ones place, so like 6, and then add 1 more, and that's the answer. So like here, 1 plus 1 more is 2. And then 5 plus 1 more is 6. So I was kind of noticing that pattern that helped me go a little faster. So yeah, that's for today. See if you can do this in 1 minute or 2 minutes or maybe 30 seconds, or maybe you can beat my time. Let me know. All right, so there's our fact practice. We are going to take a look at our textbook now, and we're going to do a little practice with subtracting today. So we were doing some subtracting here, and now we're going to do some subtracting in our textbooks. So we are on page 35, and on page 35, it says subtraction without renaming. And renaming is something that we do if we don't have enough, like if we don't have enough ones in the ones place or enough tens in the tens place. So that is renaming. Let's see. So here we have, there are 396 children. 214 of them are boys. How many girls are there? So we could underline the question. We could think about who or what are we talking about. We're talking about some children, some boys and some girls. And we could think about, are we trying to find the whole number, or are we trying to find one of the missing parts? And it looks like, let's see, there are 396 children, 214 of them are boys. How many girls are there? So we're trying to find out how many girls there are. So we are trying to find a missing part. So I just wanted to show you what that would look like, because we've been working on our number bonds and our unit bars a lot lately. So let me just show you quickly what that would look like. So we know that there's 396 children. That's our whole number. 214 of them are boys, and we're trying to find out that missing part. How many girls are there? Now, if we wanted to make that into a unit bar, here's our whole 396. And then one of the parts is the number of boys, and then we're trying to find out how many girls there are. And to find out the missing part, we are going to subtract. So we're going to take our whole number minus one of the parts, and we will get the other part. So they are showing us how to do that using these little place value discs, these little things here. So I'm going to show you what that would look like. So here is my place value chart. And let's see, a bit of a glare from light over there. But anyway, so 396. So I need, I need 1, 2, 3, 396. So there's 300. Here's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. So now we have 300, 90, and I need 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so here's our whole number. This is the total number of children. There's 396. And we know that 214 of them are boys. And we want to find out how many girls there are. So we are going to subtract 214. And how we do that is let's see what our book tells us. We're going to subtract the ones. It says it over here too, subtract the ones. Then we're going to subtract the tens, and then we're going to subtract the hundreds. So it's kind of like we're starting in the, we're starting on the right side. We're always starting with the ones, and then we go to the tens, and then the hundreds. So it's kind of opposite from how we usually do in reading. We start on the left side and we read this way. So when we do this in math, It's a little bit opposite. We're starting on the right side. So we are doing 396 minus 214. Okay. And if you want to, you could draw your lines to separate the ones and the tens and the hundreds. It's always a prudent thing to do. And then we're going to start in the ones place. So we have 6, we're going to take away 4, and that gives us 2. So here's our 6. We're going to take away 1, 2, 3, 4, and that gives us 2, so 2 left. Then, I should mention, so yeah, we always start in the ones place, and we always start at the top. So we did 6 minus 4, and we got 2. Now we're moving over to the tens place. We have 9 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're going to take one of them away, which leaves us with 8 tens. And then finally, we're going to move over here to the hundreds place. We had 3 hundreds. We're going to take 2 of them away, which leaves us with 1. And then if we come over here, we cross off our question mark. 182. 182 children are girls. So let's see that. Let's check our answer. Yep, 182. And then in our book here, they're kind of just showing us the same thing, except instead of taking them off, so Miss Taylor, I was taking them off my chart, and they were just kind of crossing them off. So you could do that too if you wanted to do it with drawing on your whiteboard, and then you can just kind of cross them off. And that would definitely work too. Okay, so let's go ahead on the next page. We have 7 minus 3. Ooh, that's a hard one. Is that a hard one? Well, maybe not. But you'll see why they're asking you that in just a minute. So here we have 7. No, actually we have 2. I'm going to put 7 on my chart. Okay. Okay, there's 7. If we have 7 ones minus 3 ones, we have 4 ones, right? Ding, ding, ding. Very good. Now what about 70 minus 30? In other words, 7 tens minus 3 tens. Well, okay, let's try that one. 7 tens. There's 7 tens. Remember, 7 tens is the same as 70. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So 70 minus 30. 7 tens minus 3 tens, or 70 minus 30. Take away 3 tens, and I have 4 tens, just like we had 4 ones left over when we took 3 of them away. All right, so 4 tens, or 40. So if we know 7 minus 3 is 4, then we also know 70 minus 30 is 40. It's almost like we're just adding a 0. And then the hundreds, 7 hundreds minus 3 hundreds. And we can do the same thing. So we get our hundreds here. Let's see, I need 7 hundreds. Let's see, there's 4 hundreds, 500, 600, 700, and we have 700, and we take away, we subtract 300. 1, 2, 3, and then we're left with 400s. Okay, so really here we're thinking about, well, if you know this fact, then this one is just like adding a 10 to it. This one is just like adding 100 to it. So 7 minus 3 is 4. 7 tens minus 3 tens is 4 tens, also known as 40. And 7 hundreds minus 3 hundredths equals 4 hundredths. And then you'll also notice a little pattern here. There's this one is just 4. This one is 4 with a 0. And this one is 4 with 2 zeros. right? All right. So we're going to do a couple more with subtracting. So let's take a look at this one. 36 minus 12. So we can use our place value chart to help us. 36, so I need 3 tens, 30, and then I need 6 ones. There's my 36, okay. And 36, and I think I have some space over here. I'm actually going to use this part to write. I'm going to show you how we write it the vertical way. 36 minus 12. And I like to separate my ones from my tens and then my hundreds. Okay, so 36, and I want to subtract 12. And so we always start in the ones place, and we always start at the top. So we have 6. Here's our 6. And we're going to take away 2. Here we go. And then we can see we have 4 left. And then we move over here to the tens place. We have 3 tens. We're going to take away 1 10. And then we have 2 tens left. So our answer is 24. All right. Nice job. Let's do one more with hundreds. Let's make it a little more interesting. And so this one says 239 minus 25. Okay, so this is the one we're going to do. 239 minus 25. Whoop. My line's a bit crooked there. Okay, so here we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, and I like to put a little 0 here just to help me keep my place value. And I know that this is 25 and not 250, and so I like to just put my 0 there. You don't have to do that, but you can. Okay, so we're going to put this number on our place value chart. So I need 239. Okay, so, oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, need one more. 9. Okay, so there's 239. Now we are going to subtract 25. So when we are doing it this way, and this is called the vertical algorithm, vertical means up and down, so we're just writing it up and down this way. We always start in the ones place, and we always start at the top. So 9 minus 5. Here we have 9. Let's take away 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to take those away. And again, if you had your chart, you could also be kind of crossing these off. So there's 9 minus 5 is 4. Okay, now we move over to the tens place. We had 3 tens. There's our 3 tens, and we're going to take away 2 of them. And 3 minus 2 is 1. And then finally, we're going to move over here to our hundreds. 2 hundreds minus nothing is 200. So our answer is 214. And let me just show you what that looks like if, so here, this is the same kind of a place value, but instead of taking them off like we did, they've crossed them off. So they started with 239. And this is kind of nice because then you can see where they crossed off the numbers. So they started with, in the ones place, 9 minus 5. So they crossed off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they're left with 4. So we put our 4 down there. And then the tens place, we had 3 tens. And we're going to subtract 2. So that's why they crossed off 2 of them. And then we're left with 1 10. And then the hundreds, they didn't cross anything off because there's no hundreds to subtract. So this is just kind of another way of showing us this same thing, how we're subtracting, but they're just kind of crossing them off this way. So let me show you your homework for today. Is pages 42 and 43. And on page 42, we are just practicing this strategy of thinking about our ones, so 8 ones minus 2 ones, and they're showing you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then if you take 2 of them away, you have 6 ones left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if you know this fact, 8 minus 2 is 6, then you can very quickly figure out 8 tens minus 2 tens equals, 6 tens, right? So they start with 8 and they take away 2. And then we're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like up here with ones, it's the same, except we just have to add a 0. And then 8 hundredths minus 2 hundredths, again, same thing. We start with 8 hundredths. We cross off 2 of those hundredths, and we're left with 6 hundredths. All right. And now we're doing the same thing, but without the picture. So a little bit more of a challenge for us. And then when you get to page 43, I would really encourage you to draw your lines to separate the ones and the tens and the hundreds. And if you draw your lines, it just kind of helps you so that it helps your mind to stay organized. You could also write the 0 for the ones, the tens, a T for the tens, and an H for the hundreds if you would like to. You could also draw an arrow by the ones place to remember we always start in the ones place and we always start at the top. And then you can solve your problem. So 9 minus 2 is 7. 9 ones minus 2 is 7 ones, I should say. In the tens place, 8 tens minus 3 tens is 5 tens. And then 6 hundreds minus nothing. I'm going to draw my little 0 there. That just kind of helps me. And then I know it's 6 hundredths. Now, when you finish this, there is a way for us to kind of check our answers at the bottom. It says color the spaces which contain the answers. You will help the rabbit find its way home. So here's the little rabbit, and he wants to find his way home. So what we're going to do is color in the answers, and that is a way for us to check, did we work the computation? Did we subtract correctly? If we did subtract correctly, we should see the answer here. If we didn't subtract correctly, then we won't see the answer, and we can go back and think, wait a second, did I make a mistake here? Now, there are lots of chances for mistakes, so we do need to go slowly and carefully. Maybe I made a mistake in the ones, or maybe the tens, maybe the hundreds. I might have to go back and check. But here we have 657. Let's see. Do you spot our answer? 657. Ooh, it's kind of like this one, but not quite. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and color that in. And then when I do the next one, hopefully I'll get a couple other answers, and pretty soon I will be helping the rabbit find its way home. All right, so that is all we have for today, second graders. Good luck with your subtracting. Remember, we always start in the ones place and we start at the top. And I hope you have a great rest of the day. Bye.